what you want to do is your manual instrumentation, you want to make sure that it's tied to your main business flow. So in this case, we will add a log when the user, for example, adds an item to the cart. We will add another log when the user lands on this checkout form, and then we will create a span that is wrapping the API call to create a new, to place an order. So let's go back to the code for a little bit. In this case, we have the product details component when this is the on item function. So on this function, we are going to call log.message. We need a message for the log. We set up a log level, in this case info, and then we can set up a set of attributes that we want to use later for either filtering or grouping these logs. And then going back to the card details page, this is the checkout form. We will add a log when the user lands on this page. Again, we set a message, we set the log level, and we also set a set of attributes that we can use later. And lastly, what we're going to do, we're going to create a span when the checkout process starts, and then we're going to end that span after the API call. So once that is all done, you can go and generate a few sessions. I have already created some here, where I can see, for example, this one. Going back to the timeline, we see now these sections are enabled. So that means we have telemetry coming. So for example, we see here a few logs when someone added an item to the cart. And then we also have the root span section. On this section, we also show all the logs, the spans that happen. This one. So going back to the main timeline, we can scroll down to find one of the logs. Here we have a log. We can click on it to expand it, and we will see all the properties that were attached to that log. In this case, the product ID and the quantity. If we keep scrolling down, we will find here the span that we added. We can see in this case, for this example, this is an error span. That means that something most likely went wrong during the checkout process. We can click on this to expand to see all the attributes attached to it. And then we can see by looking at the context of this span that there is a network request that failed. So most likely the reason that the span failed is because there was an error on the network. Again, you don't want to be looking at timelines all the time. The easiest way is to be looking at aggregations. So we're going to start by seeing the logs page here. So in the logs page, we have two sections. The first one is the aggregated section, where we group all the logs together by the message. So we can see here two rows, one for the card detail loaded and one for item added to card messages. And then we got metrics around each of the logs. So for example, the versions where they happen, the number of devices, the number of times, and the number of affected users. If we move to the raw section of the logs, we get a stream of logs that are happening in your SDK. And then in this case, the most likely scenario is that you get a lot of logs going on here. So what you may want to do is you want to filter them. You can easily filter them by using the filter builder here. You click here and you can filter by a lot of dimensions. So for example, you want to see all the logs coming from a specific browser. So you can use the browser name filter and then filter by, in this case, Chrome. You apply these filters and then you'll see all the list of logs now are being filtered by this. Another cool filter that you can use is the property filter. Remember the properties that you attached to the log earlier. So you see, for example, we have the product ID property. You can click here and filter by a specific product ID that was added to the card. So for example, I want to see all the logs attached to this product ID. Can apply my filters and I get the log. So that is for logs.